Nigel Farage took aim at former Prime Minister David Cameron after he changed his mind and said a second referendum should be held despite previously saying there are no second chances when he campaigned for Remain in 2016. The Brexit Party leader highlighted David Cameron backtracked on what he had previously said as Prince Minister and suggested it won't help him in the eyes of history. Mr. Farage held up a document which said Mr. Cameron respected the vote of the people after 17.4 million voted to leave the EU. Mr. Cameron had fought to stay in power with a pledge to hold a referendum which he said all parties were under pressure to do so. Speaking on LBC, Mr. Farage said, "This guy explicitly set out the referendum in terms, we're gonna be the heart of the single market or leave altogether. He told us in this document that came round to every house that the result would be respected. He told us again and again no referendum, no second chances." The Brexit Party MEP then played Mr. Cameron's previous interview with LBC where he suggested a second referendum to host Nigel Farage. The former Prime Minister said, "We're stuck. We've been stuck for 3 years and if you think about it, if this deal doesn't go through there are only 3 other options. You have to find another deal or you have to have a general election to see if they can change the arithmetic or you have to have a second referendum and I don't think we should be now ruling things out. Let's hope that Boris gets his deal. We will give the British people a referendum with a very simple choice, to stay in the EU on these terms or to come out altogether." Mr. Farage then added, "So he has changed his mind and I don't think it's going to help him in the eyes of history." The Brexit Party MEP recently revealed the EU fears competition from the UK after it leaves the Union. Mr. Farage explained this competition is the reason why the EU wanted to keep the backstop in the withdrawal agreement. He said the EU wanted to keep the UK trapped in the customs union and single market. He added it is the EU's ultimate nightmare. Speaking to Talk Radio, Mr. Farage said, "What they really fear here is that we become more competitive because it is a global economy and if we become more competitive there will be more investment coming into our country and we will be more prosperous than they are. That is their ultimate nightmare and that's why the backstop was originally put into the withdrawal agreement. It was put there to try and keep us trapped inside the European Union's customs union and single market. That's been the game from the very start.